Hi everybody, it's Kirsty and it is the 31st of October 2020. So we're just coming into autumn now. So I thought I'd do a wee update on video because I haven't done one since probably April time, I think, when COVID was kind of just starting, just kicking off and we were in lockdown. Um, yeah, we didn't really have an idea of what the future would hold, and we still don't really know what the future will hold. I don't think it's all a bit of a shit show at the moment. So yeah, not great for anybody really. But I thought I would just give an update on how I've found the past few months dealing with a health condition, the end of shielding, what that's been like, and going forward, what I feel about the future and the coming months and years, maybe even. So, what the year has been like for me. So, I have been very lucky in that, as explained in my previous videos, I have my own house. I was able to shield on my own, and my family are nearby, so I've had that support network. So I've got a really itchy left eye. So and I've been able to work from home as well. So all things considered, I think that this has been, um, it's not been as bad as what it could have potentially been. I could have been unemployed, or I could have been not able to work from home and been furloughed, and that would have just, I think, driven me insane. So yeah, I was able to come out of shielding in July, I think, June, July time, and go and visit my family. And I live in the Highlands of Scotland as well, so I'm very lucky in that we are, well, right now speaking, we're in tier one of the restrictions in Scotland. So that means that we are allowed to go to restaurants beyond 6 o'clock. We don't have that curfew anymore, and we have various other easing of restrictions which other parts of Scotland and the rest of the UK don't actually have yet. So from a nationwide perspective, I think I'm probably in one of the better places to be at the moment. Which is funny because I always, when I was moving up to the Highlands, it was always a bit of a gamble as to whether I was missing out on a nightlife, or not so much a nightlife, but like a social life. Not many of my friends live up here, but it's worked out quite well. But that aside, I have been quite, I wouldn't say I was overly anxious to sort of go back into normal society after shielding. I was quite looking forward to it, actually. I've been shopping, I've been in shops, I've been in restaurants. I would say that I have avoided busy places, like I haven't been to a shopping mall, I haven't been to Sainsbury's when it's been really busy. I've been trying to be sensible, and obviously, when I do go out, I've been washing my hands more and just being sort of aware of things from that point of view. But I've been seeing friends on a one-to-one basis, and I've been I've been going to my hospital appointments, obviously, as I have needed to. And I actually have to say that the NHS has been fantastic in terms of catching up with their appointments. So I have to have ultrasounds done every 6 months to check for tumours in my liver, and endoscopies normally once a year to check that I don't have bleeding varices in my esophagus. Yeah. And those were obviously both delayed, those procedures. So the previous ultrasound I had done was on the 13th of March, which was just before the national lockdown. It was actually my last day in the office. And then I was due one in 6 months' time, which would have been around September time. Yeah, September time. And I actually got one just at the end of September, so that wasn't really delayed by all that much. And I have to say that's pretty good going. So I'm very, very grateful for that. But obviously, throughout lockdown, I was going for my blood tests, liaising with my doctors, and all of that was continued as per the norm. And I've had my flu jab as well, so that I can't really complain. My treatment has not been impacted yet by COVID in that sense. So that's been good. Like I say, I haven't been that anxious. I know that a lot of people who are shielding have been very, very strict and haven't been out at all, really, to any sort of public place, which I can understand why they would be like that. But I think that the longer that you are like that, the harder it will be to readjust to normal life. And I think it does become a bit of a balancing act between, you know, it's been such a long time now, it's been 8, 9 months. And yeah, if you do keep up that strictness for however long, then there comes a point where you're like, well, what am I actually living here? Am I existing or am I living? And I don't want to paraphrase. I think that Meghan Markle said, or Harry and Meghan said something similar along those lines. But you do need to sort of like live your life. Obviously, nobody's life is being normal right now, and nobody's having the time of their life right now. But I think that you've got to, you know, you can't wrap yourself up in cotton wool forever. And yes, there is a risk in going out and you know, going for a meal or whatever, but if you're trying to mitigate those risks as much as possible, you know, I think that's fine. It's maybe different if you're going out in the middle of a city. If you live in a city, then yeah, I would probably be much more anxious going out in central London right now than I am. I'm very lucky to be able to go out at the weekends here, and it's, you know, I'm going out to the forest for a walk, or I'm going to along the beach for a walk, and I'm able to socially distance, which isn't possible for a lot of people. So yeah, it's a balancing act, I think. But I've not been too. I think, you know, life goes on. So yeah, and going forward, I'm not overly optimistic. I really do feel that this sort of it's like we're in a sort of um purgatory in terms of I couldn't think of the word there, but purgatory I think is the word. And an intermediate stage between um we're not obviously in national lockdown, but I think everybody's kind of aware that that's the way things are going right now. I'm just nervous more for the wider economy. Like, yes, okay, I've got my own health problems, and yes, I'm worried about what if I get COVID, probably will end up dying or being quite seriously ill. But I think I'm more fearful for the wider social impacts of this. Like, I think that by having repeated lockdowns, I know so many people that have lost their jobs or are unable to get jobs, and that frightens me a lot more, because I think that the impact of that will be much more of a burden than COVID itself. But I mean, it's a very difficult one because there's no easy answer, and there's no easy option for politicians. I think, you know, they're damned if they do and they're damned if they don't. I long term, I mean, I really don't know. Obviously, nobody knows whether we're going to get a vaccine or a treatment, or, you know, I don't think that a vaccine is going to be the one shot solution that everyone's hoping that it will be. And I think the reality is, for me, for somebody who is vulnerable, I will probably have to continue living a sort of shielded life. Not entirely shielded, but certainly, you know, I don't think I'll be able to return to what I was doing in 2018, 2019 in quite the same way, like going to crowded places or going to festivals or things like that. And I think that's quite hard to accept and quite sad. But then it's, you know, it's not the end of the world, and it could be a lot worse. So I think what I am going to concentrate on for the next while, and this will be difficult, but I think we've got to do it, is concentrate on what we are able to do and the positives. You know, we are so lucky to be living in a country which puts such value on protecting the vulnerable and protecting those that are weaker, whether that be from, you know, their health or their age or whatever else. I think we're very fortunate to place priority on those people, and not live in a country where that's not considered or thought about or protected. So that is always something to be thankful for. But in addition to that, you know, just being able to, for me personally, be near my family, be able to still have work, to be well. Yes, I maybe can't go and do all the things that I would like to be doing, maybe go and visiting friends throughout the country, or, you know, going on dates as I would maybe normally be, you know, going on dates unsuccessfully. And yeah, longer term, does this mean that, you know, we'll never meet anybody, or that we'll not make new friends, or that we'll not be able to pursue new jobs? Who knows? I don't know. I think it's too soon to say any of that, and the long-term effects of this will play out over the next few years. But again, I think it's important to not think too long-term about it. We don't have all the information. I don't have the information or the skills or the knowledge to understand about how infectious diseases work, or how our healthcare system works to prevent outbreaks and things like that. I don't know enough about it. So I think I'm just going to concentrate on taking it month by month, getting through this winter first and foremost, and just appreciating what I have. Yeah. So not an entirely positive message, but I think that everyone's getting to that stage, and I'm included in this. Everyone's getting to that stage now where working from home is sort of starting to grate, and we're coming into the dark nights. It's getting a bit down and depressing, and there doesn't seem to be any end in sight to this new normal that we have. And there's only so many books and so many Netflix shows that you can watch before you kind of go off your head. But I think it's important to try and keep positive, and remember that hopefully things will get better, and one day we'll realise how good we had it all along. So yeah, that's my message for autumn. But everybody, I hope, is staying safe and taking care, and wear your mask and wash your hands when you go out, and keep smiling. Okay, bye.